So I'm going to share this with you, which is really odd. Yes, this is a regular thing during the day. Periodically, odd things happen. Where you see all these birds, there's like hundreds of them, actually thousands are all in the plants. Well, there's times when I come into the house and look out the window, there's almost no birds there. And then I start to worry. It's like, wait a minute. There's usually hundreds of them flying all over, and now there's only 1 or 2 or 6. But I'm going to show you some raw footage on what happens when I walk outside, not in a panic, but curiosity as where are they all? And yes, they don't come in these large numbers all day. It's kind of in waves. Watch and see what happened live. I think you'll get a kick out of this. Right now, there's a half a dozen birds out there, maybe a couple more. This is very strange. This one's full. There's plenty of food. Everything's been filled. And let me show you something when I go outside. You know, I don't want you to see my messy house. Move, guys. Let's see, move. I'm going to just walk straight outside. I'm going to move something. I'm going to come out and look around. Zoe's with me. And let's move anything. Let's take this feeder that's here. Usually everything changes. It's so bizarre and I don't know why. I'm just gonna move feeders. All of a sudden the birds are gonna start coming. Not really doing much of anything, but everything's got food. I can even put this one here right now. Now here they start coming in. Look, here, listen. Now they're coming from across the hill. I know you can't see. Now I've got, well, you can't see. There's about a half a dozen in front of me because they're flying around. Look at this. They're loaded in the avocado tree. I know you probably can't see them because they're so small, but they're in the dried out avocado tree. Still smoke in the air. Let me clear my throat. So sorry about that. But it's just so odd. Now when I go back in the house, there'll be a whole bunch of birds. So I've got this one. See, he knows I'm holding it. There's some sort of security they get out of this, and I don't understand it myself. I think it's just this. Look at this. Now they're all coming in. They're all buzzing around. Well, let's go back in the house. That one clear. Let me go back in the house. You're not gonna see my messy house. I do need to do something with it. I just want to show you. Now it went from a half a dozen birds to, well, now I've got them in the window. See, they weren't in the window when I was here. And now they're taking a bath. Look at this. And they're feeding out of this feeder. They weren't feeding. And look at all the feeders. Look. See, I'm hoping you can see this through the window. All the feeders now have them sitting in there, and they're starting to come in. It's so bizarre because sometimes there'll be almost no birds, and I walk outside and I'm surrounded by, look at this. In less than 3 minutes, just you and I talking, uncut, raw footage, nothing done. Now I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There's at least, they're moving around back and forth really quick. Close to 30 birds there when there was, what, 4 there and a couple here? Isn't that something? And this happens a lot. I just walk out there and then I'm inundated with birds. And they're still coming. They're coming from across the hill. They actually see me. Look at that. So that feeder's full. Just by you and I walking outside. That feeder I moved is full, every seat. That one's got a couple seats left. And they're starting to move around now because they're now coming to the window. Look, this feeder's full. And they're coming. I got to get another feeder there. But I just wanted to show you that. I can't explain it other than they must know who I am. That's Zoe playing. They must know who I am, and the moment I walk out there, they just start coming from across the hill, from all over, and they'll be coming more and more. So the more I go out there to put new feeders, the more come. And I'll put out 10 new feeders and I'll have 1,000 extra birds come around me. It's just so bizarre. But I wanted to share that with you because it's just so unique. All right, so you saw 4 minutes of fun. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is fun. It'll be like, oh, there's only a couple birds out there. Bam, I'm loaded with 100, 200 birds in a matter of almost seconds. So I wanted to share that with you because the other day I did it raw. I wanted you to see uncut, no editing, just what happened when I went out there. I want you to see that. Look at the rufous with the orange throat. On the top there, it's amazing how they catch the sunlight and they can just flash the colors on them. They're absolutely gorgeous. I froze that for a moment. It's just phenomenal how many birds there are. Now, I do have a lot of birds and I keep an eye on them with my cameras. So if the feeders run low, I can run in the house no matter where I am. Or if I'm not here, I can tell Gary to put some food out. But I wanted you to see all the birds that we've got here. Now, we have probably 24 feeders. They're all over around the house in the garden. We also have been growing a lot of flowers by seed and buying flowers. We have a lot of flowers around the property, salvias, hummingbirds, lunch, just different types. As you can see here, this is a salvia. They love their flowers. Now, of course, in the winter, there's not as many, but we're fortunate enough to still have plants with flowers on them. So they'll go into the gardens and they'll eat and, collect their nectar and pollen there. Because remember, they eat nectar and pollen, but they also eat little insects, which they usually get out of spider webs or sometimes stuck inside of plants. Now, what I also do is I like making hummingbird feeders. And a lot of times I make them out of ice cream containers or cottage cheese or sour cream containers and all kinds, peanut butter cups and dots I make, which is out of little ramekins. But the ice cream containers are one of their favorites. I think it's because they can sit on there and look around. So if they saw any predators, they would know somebody's coming. But they actually prefer the window. I don't know if it senses security. They'll go more to these feeders than anything else. But I thought it'd be fun to share it with you. This is what we do. This is my daily life, is feeding hummingbirds and gardening and, well, getting work done when I have a chance. But they are very demanding, and that is perfectly fine with me. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow and grow something. Bye-bye. So that's the last few birds for the day, getting their last drink before they go into a torpid state of sleep, as I drink my green drink in the window and Gary's pacing and waiting for dinner. As the sun goes down, they're already in the trees getting ready to go into their sleep. And some of them are a little late, but that's okay. They can still see, even though the sun is almost down. We've got one more, taking that last drink until tomorrow morning when thousands of hummingbirds show up again. I love watching the last bird for the evening. Don't you? Good night.